On a hot summer's morning at Cobblestone Zoo, as the warden was out on patrol, a lonely white elephant strolled to the pond to converse with the Fillet of Sole. "Excuse me," he said, "but the weather's so fine, and I've nothing to do until locking-up time. I wondered perhaps if you'd care for a stroll," the white elephant said to the Fillet of Sole. "I'd be happy, I'm sure," said the Fillet of Sole, "but I'm no good at walking, alack. Though, if you'd allow me, I'd slide up your trunk and lay myself flat on your back. I should hate to miss out on a fine country walk, and I'd welcome the chance of a good friendly talk, for in all of my years I've met barely a soul," said the kind and agreeable Fillet of Sole. "That settles it then," the white elephant laughed, "for my eyesight is awfully poor, so if you could navigate laid on my back, we'd make splendid companions, I'm sure." Said the Fillet, "Well, just on the bank, near the trees, there's a map that I've kept for occasions like these." "Then clamber aboard, as my trunk I'll unroll," the white elephant said to the Fillet of Sole. The Fillet flopped up on the elephant's back and, both anxious to keep a low profile, they crept to the gates of the zoo unobserved by the creatures too dreamy and docile to notice the Fillet and elephant too, or imagine a world beyond Cobblestone Zoo, and, unfurling the map from its ribbon-tied scroll, "The countryside, ho!" cried the Fillet of Sole. The fields and the hillsides, which stretched out for miles to a beckoning sky-blue horizon, made quite the most beautiful view that the Fillet and elephant ever set eyes on. "It tends to remind me," the elephant smiled, "of the Indian jungle I knew as a child. But first we must find you a watering hole." "I can manage without," said the Fillet of Sole. And over the countryside, hill, dale and lane, down each mossy and pebble-strewn track, the elephant strolled while the Fillet of Sole called directions from high on his back. And high on the hilltops, the breathtaking view was a most welcome change from old Cobblestone Zoo. "I've never had such a magnificent stroll," the white elephant said to the Fillet of Sole. "And I have to say," added the elephant, "you are the friendliest Fillet I've known. But I'm hard put to guess how you make such success of your life without one single bone." "Well, I've never liked swimming," the Fillet replied, "and I found when I did I got terribly tired, and I much preferred floating on top, on the whole, so I had them removed," said the Fillet of Sole. "And you," said the Fillet, "we've not met before, but I've glimpsed you from distance afar, and you're always alone." "Ah," the elephant said, "white elephants usually are. But I've lived in the zoo for a great many years, and I'm Indian, you know, on account of my ears growing smaller than African elephants grow," the white elephant said to the Fillet of Sole. "And I think my name's Hugh," the white elephant said, "for that's what the zookeepers call. They say, 'You, drink your water,' and 'You, hurry up,' and 'You, eat your grass in your stall.'" Said the Fillet, "I haven't a name of a sort, so why don't you just call me Phil, Hugh, for short, because that's how I'm known to the rest of the shoal, though we never speak much," said the Fillet of Sole. As the afternoon sun was beginning to fade to the warmest and sweetest of dusks, it was time for the Fillet to float off to sleep and for Hugh to be brushing his tusks. But as they returned, only fractionally late, the zoo was barred shut, and from inside the gate, said the elephant, "Goodness, we're right in a hole." "I tend to agree," said the Fillet of Sole. "If the zookeeper hears us," said Fillet of Sole, "just imagine how fiercely he'll shout." "Well, I could charge the gate down," the elephant said, "but we'd make too much noise without doubt." "Would your trunk," said the Fillet, "reach over as far as the gate's other side and unfasten the bar?" "Oh, but from this side," said Hugh, "I'd be blind as a mole." "Then I've got an idea," said the Fillet of Sole. I'm flat, and I'll easily slide myself under the gap between ground and the gate. And I'll call out directions like left, right, and down if you'll haul your trunk over and wait. That way, we'll get in with the minimum fuss, for the quieter we are, then it's safer for us, and we'll tiptoe back in without waking a soul, said the shrewd and intuitive Fillet of Sole. So the Fillet slid under and signalled Hugh's trunk without any severe complication, and he guided Hugh's trunk to the iron pole bar with dexterous, precise navigation. Then Fillet hissed out an instruction to slide, and the elephant's trunk eased the bar to one side and freed the huge gate of the wrought iron pole, to a sigh of relief from the Fillet of Sole. And safely back home inside Cobblestone Zoo, the two bade each other good night, and they chuckled in whispers at being locked out and their skilful escape from such plight. And closing their eyes, the adventurers too remembered the world beyond Cobblestone Zoo, which remained, more than likely, unknown to a soul, save the elephant, Hugh, and the Fillet of Sole.